Well, good evening, Facebook community. This is Jennifer from Uplifting Life Naturally, hopping on here for a few minutes to talk to everybody a little bit about motivation. Something I hear quite often is difficult for, most of us to do, to stay motivated with things. And certainly even hopping on here tonight to do this that I've, held myself accountable for is a little hard to stay motivated after the past half hour that I just dealt with my crazy kids walking in, from a long day at work, 9 o'clock at night. Kids upset over broken chargers, the animals, whatever, you name it, it's just, happening here at the Fetterman house, and certainly makes doing things that you want to do for yourself hard to stay motivated. So I know exactly, how you're feeling and where you're coming from when it's, hard to, commit to certain things. So, over the course of my journey, I've been, trying to figure out and looked a little bit beyond, where people struggle and how I can help them, do, some of the things that they want to do in life, whether that is, and it's primarily, I focus a lot on health and fitness with my background as a physician assistant, as well as my interest in the health and wellness journey that I've taken. But even just with life in general, or keeping up with things, how do people stay motivated, or what prevents us from being motivated? And, it's pretty interesting that, with research and things, what I found was that a lot of the times, or most of our times, the most common problem behind being motivated is, how we're feeling at the time. And actually, as I thought about that, very true, and I'm sure you can relate to that as well. We do a great job at thinking about what is it that we need to do or want to do. We can make a list, 10 miles long. That's not the problem. The problem is actually, hi Tammy, implementing everything that, we have on that list. And if you think about it, our moods really affect a lot of how motivated we are, how much energy we have to actually get those things accomplished. So, I'd mentioned that there's 3 things that we can do to help stay positive, to help, with our motivation. And certainly the first thing is, keeping a positive outlook, a positive attitude, because when we are happy, when, we're looking forward to something, or we can try to find the silver lining, in that gray cloud, we're more apt to, follow through with the things that we have on our list that we want to do. Some people, do a reward system. They set goals for themselves, and, once those goals are reached, they, may treat themselves to a drink out, a special dinner, an outfit, whatever it is. If you're somebody who's motivated by things of that sort, by all means, set yourself some goals, set a prize for yourself, and have that to look forward to and work forward to. So when you're not really feeling like doing whatever the task is that you plan to do, remind yourself of that. I have done that, with my whole health and fitness journey by, keeping a cute little summer dress hung up on my closet door last year when I first started my journey, and it just reminded me every day that, well, that's why I need to get out of bed and do what I need to do. As far as, number 3, which has been extremely helpful for me, and I find very helpful for a lot of people that I work with, is having an accountability partner. People that, that are expecting you to do what you commit to doing. For instance, I had put up my post earlier that I would be hopping on here live at 9:35 tonight. Of course, I was late as usual. But anyways, had I not posted that post earlier, I'm sure I would not have hopped on here, because, my motivation by 9:35 at night was just, it was gone. But the fact that I held myself accountable to others, my Facebook community, I had no choice but to follow through and do it. So, accountability partners, whether that is somebody sharing your same journey with you, or just somebody who can, make you or have you call them and say, okay, yes, I did do these things. Yes, I saved that amount of money. I didn't spend here or there, whatever it is. So make sure you're thinking positive, set yourself some goals with a small reward for yourself for reaching those goals. And, lastly, find somebody to share that journey with you. And accountability does wonders. If you need help with accountability for whatever it is, I'm happy to hold people accountable. I am up and on the go all day long. I can even call you at 5 a.m. if you need that 5 a.m. wake up call for accountability. So with that said, I hope everybody's having a great evening, and I will be blogging a little bit more as well about, motivation and such. Most likely I'll probably put that out tomorrow morning. I think I'm going to try to switch my blogs over to morning for posting. I think I get a little more time for people to read them in the morning instead of at night when we're all trying to get to bed. So I will have that out in the morning, but as usual, I'm glad I hopped on here, even though I wasn't motivated. But again, have a great evening, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Good night.